friends, welcome. It is Miss Kate here. I'm excited to be sharing some time with you. We're going to start talking about mental health and creating a really fun project to help us better understand it. But before we do that, make sure you check below. It will let you know what materials you'll need for the art project, as well as some really fun links and resources that you might want to check out as well. So here we go. Well, first question, what is mental health? Anybody know? Yeah, it's a tough one. I'll give you the definition. Mental health is essentially the way we think, feel, and act. I know, kind of hard to grasp that. So let's take a step back and look at something else first. What is physical health? We all know that, I bet. Physical health has to deal with our body. Boop. How it works, how it functions. Ways to keep our body in shape or feeling good would be eating the right foods, getting some exercise, definitely getting enough sleep, spending time outside. All of those activities help our physical health, our body, to feel good and to work well. It also helps us to better feel good in our bodies as well. So physical health has to do with our bodies. And sometimes our physical health can not be so great. Maybe we catch a cold, or we are on the swing set and we break our arm. Those are times where our physical health, our body, is kind of hurting a little bit and it needs some extra care. We might see a doctor, they might give us a cast, we might get a stomach ache, and a parent or a friend or a grown-up might give you a little medicine to make it feel better. Those are all things that can help our physical health when it's doing really bad. But there's things we do every day, like eat well, exercise, get good sleep, get outside, that we can keep our physical health on the overall good. So physical health is our body. Mental health, you think you know now, might what it be? Is our mind. It's how our mind is feeling, how our mind is thinking, and how our mind is acting. We can do things to support our mental health too. We just don't talk about them as much. So I thought, why not? Let's share some ideas here, because mental health is just as important as physical health. Our minds are just as important as our body. And many don't know this, but if your mental health isn't doing so well, kind of makes for some bad days. And it affects our physical health and vice versa. So what can we do to keep our mental health feeling good? What can we do to make it strong, just like we might do for our physical health? Any ideas? I heard a few. Well, we can journal. Sometimes people like to just get all that chitter chatter. I'm sure you might have that little chatter in your head sometimes. I know I do. Well, you can take a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen and just start writing. Get all that chitter chatter out of your head and on the paper. Clear up some space in there. Give it some breathing room. You could make some artwork. Artwork is really cool because what it does is it engages both your physical, your body, and your mental health, your mind, to work together. So one can't be and the other one being they both have to calm down and focus. So art is a really great way to keep your mental health in check, to keep it strong. What else could we do? We can get outside. But wait, Miss Kate, you said you could get outside for physical health. Yeah, some of the things we do for our physical health help our mental health too. Our minds love getting outside. Our minds love good food. Our minds also like exercise. Those are 3 more things we can add to our list of activities to make our mental health stronger. It's really quite endless. Sometimes you might notice though that your mental health isn't doing so good. Like you might feel really sad. Or maybe you just can't stop crying. Those are times you might have to work a little harder or ask for some support, which is okay. And that will really benefit you in the long run. So I was thinking,
Hey, Mom.
Yes, Spencer?
Know what I do?
No, what do you do?
I go outside and catch lizards.
You know what else he does? He leaves those lizards at the end of my bed. Silly thing. Anyway, I thought what we could do is we'll make an artwork and it will be filled with things to remind us of what we can do to support our mental health, to make it stronger. We're going to create an apothecary. An apothecary is an older term for a pharmacist or a pharmacy. If you read Harry Potter, where do they get their potions at? The apothecary. Apothecaries didn't use typical medicine that we think of. It was more natural and from the earth. So we're going to create our own mental health apothecary shop. And it's going to be filled with all the great things that we know can help make our mental health strong. And sometimes the mental health stuff helps the physical too. So grab a piece of paper, crayons, markers, a pencil, and that's about it. We'll keep it simple. And I will get my table set up, and I'll see you in 2 snaps of a finger click. All right, here we go. So here's going to be our heART apothecary shop. And what you can see is I've put some bottles on this top shelf and then some bottles on this. And each bottle is filled with something that, for me personally, helps keep my mental health, my mind, strong. So I've got happiness gumballs. So if I'm feeling kind of off, I might go watch a funny movie or do something that's going to make me laugh. Sometimes if I'm feeling a little sad, I'll reach out and ask someone I love for some support, or I give kindness away. Kindness can help us feel good as well, and it boosts our mental health. I also might put together a jar of peace. Peace for me is sitting outside or making art. So these are my, what did I put on here? My peace treats. They're like little peace candies. I made some feather floaters because sometimes I like to think that if I could just float and fly, how fun that would be. So I use my imagination. These are my dandelion wishes because I love 1, dandelions, and 2, wishes. So I put those in here. And the last one that I filled was with music. I call this my melody munch. And music can hit our soul, and it can make our body and our mind enter into a place that is nice and calm and peaceful. And sometimes it gets out some of those icky emotions and helps us to feel better. So you do not have to put in your jars the same thing I did. You can put in whatever makes your mental health or your mind feel good. And we'll talk more as we go. What you'll need is a blank sheet of paper. We'll draw part of this together and color for a few minutes together. And then I'll leave you to do the rest on your own, because part of art is having your own quiet time and not Miss Kate chatting away, because sometimes I chat a lot. So what we'll do is we'll start, I'll leave both of these so you can see, with our top row of jars. I've got a sheet here with a few different ideas. I'm going to draw 3. You can do the exact ones I do, or if you see one on this jar sheet that I have, you can try that. So towards the top of our paper, not the bottom, we're going to add about 3 jars. If you want 4, you could. If you only want 2, that works as well. I'm going to start, let's see, with this one. That one looks fun. So I'll do kind of like a curve in and then a curve out. This side I'll do the opposite, curve in and the opposite curve out. If at any point while I'm drawing, I'm going too fast, go ahead and pause the video. When you're ready, push play and we'll be right here waiting for you, and we'll just keep going. You can add a bottom. And then some sort of top, because whatever's in there, we don't want it to escape. We want to make sure we keep it for when we need it. So I'm going to put a lid with another like little lid up there. And that's 1 jar. We'll add what's inside in just a minute. Let's get our jars in first. Another one I think I will add is, well, I'll go with this little teeny short one. That looks kind of fun. So it's going to be sort of like the letter C, and then sort of like a backward C, and then a little line to connect them. Again, if you see another jar you'd prefer, by all means do that. If you have your own idea for a jar, because Miss Kate's mind does not have all the ideas, I know you guys have plenty more, you can do that as well. These are just some that I came up with to give us sort of like a starting point or some ideas in case we might be stumped. And then I definitely have room for one more. So I'm gonna choose, I'll go with that heart one because I think heart is always helpful. So it's gonna be kind of like an upside down J backwards and then an upside down J. Or they kind of look like candy canes now that I look at it. Put a line. And then some kind of stopper at the top for this one too. Now we don't want these just floating in the air. I mean, I guess they could if we went to like a Harry Potter apothecary shop, things might be floating. But I want to make sure mine are pretty stable on the shelf, especially because if Spencer comes along, he's going to knock them off. So I'm going to draw a straight line all the way across. If you notice I made a little wiggle, it's totally okay. I am going to keep that little wiggle because it makes it even more special. And then we can make this look like it's 3D, like it's inside of a cabinet by drawing some diagonal lines. These will give us some perspective. They kind of vanish behind the jars and they go to an invisible point that we really can't see, right? Call it a vanishing point. They sort of disappear. But it doesn't go forever because there is a wall behind there. So you have to put that back of the wall line too. So see, that's a bit of a challenge. See if you can do that. Get these diagonal lines to make it look like it has depth, even though it's a flat sheet of paper. And if we put some straight vertical lines, the kind that go up and down, we've now created the inside of a little cabinet. How you guys doing? Pretty good? All right, so let me move this a little bit out of the way and look at the bottom half. So I've got a few more jars here, and if you notice, the bottom half has a lot more room. So I'm gonna do a few taller jars. I'm gonna definitely do this one because I really like the shape of that, and I have that in my house. And then we can add some more in as well. So start up a little bit higher and do a straight line down. I'll do that on the other side, but backwards. Again, if you have a different idea for a jar, do that. If you happen to have a favorite mug, put that in. If you have a bowl or something in your room that you always keep stuff in, you can do that. And I think I'll do a short one. How about, I'll do this one, but kind of short. It's gonna kind of be a diagonal and a curve. Diagonal and a curve. And then we always connect the bottom. Now, if you want stuff to stick out, like I did with my feathers and my dandelions, make sure you don't put a stopper in because that's gonna kind of block the opening, right? So this one I didn't put anything in. That's why it's still left open. And let's do one more. I'm gonna make it a tad smaller than this guy. Again, if you only want 2 down here, just put 2. If you want 5 because you have room, you can do that as well. Okay? And we've got our jars. Let's go ahead and do that perspective thing down on the bottom. So, you ready? We're gonna do those diagonal lines that just vanish into the background. We don't really know where they go. They sort of just disappear to a point that doesn't exist. Then we're gonna draw the back line of the shelf. And see this vertical line I had started up here? I'm not gonna draw, I'm gonna kind of imagine it would go down, 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 down. And when it comes here again, I would be able to see it. Did you see how that worked? So it's kind of there, it's way in the back. We can't see it because it's behind all that stuff. And then boop, there it is again. Try that on this other one too, if you happen to put these in. So there's my line. I'm gonna follow where it would possibly be and then carry it once it gets here, down, 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 down. And there we go. We've created a 3D apothecary shop. Now we just have to fill it in. So what are some things that we've maybe talked about or that you know for your personal self that help you feel good and help your mind feel good or bring you peace and relaxation? I know music is a big one for a lot of people. So we can fill one with music, or at least music notes. Or if you have a musical instrument you play, you might want to include that in one of these. Maybe that would be something you would go to make your mental health stronger. You could even draw or write the lyrics to a song. Maybe you have a specific song you like to put on when you're not feeling so great. If you want to, on all of these actually, you can add a tag, kind of like a little name tag, so you know what's in it. But that's up to you. It's not necessary. So music is a great one. For some people, might be getting outside. I know I love the beach. That's a place that brings me a lot of peace and calm. And I actually go there if I'm having just a crazy day, or sometimes just to go, and I always feel better. So I'm going to draw a jar with my beach scene. But what's going to happen is when I open the jar, it'll smell like the beach, and it'll have noises like the beach, and even some wind might blow out of it. That would be kind of cool. And I know I kind of ranted about how much and raved I love dandelions. So this one's going to have some dandelions. And to me, wishes, which I think of when I think of dandelions, are all my hopes and my dreams. Like, you know, on your birthday, when you have a birthday cake and you get to blow out the candles and you make a wish, it's because you have hope inside your heart. And hope makes our heads feel a little bit calmer too. Has something to look forward to. Okay. Again, these are my ideas. They might fit for you. You might be like, Miss Kate, none of this works for me. I like to just play with Legos. Well, you know what? That's a perfect thing to put in one of your jars. If you know that playing with Legos calms you down or makes you feel really good or empowered, especially after you make a really awesome creation, why not fill it with some Legos? If you know that getting outside and playing basketball works, fill a jar with basketballs. If you enjoy cooking and baking, fill a jar with your favorite treat or an oven or something that makes you think of baking. This is going to be something you can look at now, and one, is a beautiful work of art, and two, it's a reminder of what you can do to keep your mental health strong. Just like we talked about, our physical health, we kind of know, people talk about it all the time, but our mental health sometimes gets a little bit ignored. So I'm going to put this on the pause screen and then flip this around and give you a lovely send-off. All right, friends, I had a great time just now talking and discussing mental health, kind of figuring out what it is and how to keep it strong and healthy. I can't wait to see how your artwork turns out. So take whatever time you need to finish up, add some colors, get some really cool jazzy stuff going on. If you have some extra feathers or even some glitter laying around, if it's okay with parents, add that even to your artwork. When you're done, if you want to send a picture of it to me, you're welcome to. There's some information below how to do that. And just have a great time. Make sure to get a few minutes outside, get some of that fresh air. Be kind, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.